we are going live. Thank you so much, Owen. We have Owen Falk from TexLax along with Paul Noecker, Utica Yeti GM. Owen, we're kind of doing a shared one this week because Paul also happens to be a big Desert Dog fan. Well, he's mainly a Charlie Bertrand fan, which makes him a Desert Dog fan. But I told him that you would definitely be interested in talking about the game, and you did like you always do and set up a sweet stat sheet. So we're gonna let you go through your stats, and then we're gonna watch replays together, and we'll BS about it a little bit.
Cool. Yeah. So the first goal actually came out with Vegas, and then Calgary went on like a 2 free goal run to start things off. And yeah, it was 5-3 after the first quarter for Calgary. Goals came from Hayden Dixon, Josh Courier, T. Hogarth, Tanner Cook, and Jesse King for Calgary. And Vegas had 2 from Jackson and 1 from Hannah.
So I gotta ask you, you saw they come out and they score that first goal. I mean, what are you thinking? You're like, are you serious, guys?
I honestly, because of the last 2 games, I basically was like, no. And then once they went on that like 3 goal run to answer back, I was like, okay, we might actually be playing a full 60 minutes this time.
Yeah, that has definitely been the biggest challenge for you. And Paul, I'm definitely sure we'll have some gripes about the Desert Dogs not playing a full 60 minutes. But all right, we'll let you keep going now. I've interrupted you enough.
All right, no worries. And then at the half for Calgary, it was 10-7. And then Calgary went on another little bit of a run with Pace, Simpsons, Hogarth, and on the power play we had Hogarth was on the power play, Jesse King and Liam Leclerc as well.
Yeah, and actually, I have a fun fact for you, Owen, and I was so pumped when you just said this.
Oh yeah.
So Tyler Pace, do you have any idea what his shooting percentage is right now?
No.
So he has 8 goals and 15 shots, which makes him, as far as I've seen, the league leader, just ahead of Hayden Dixon, who also has 9 goals with 17 shots. So Pace is 53.3%, and Hayden Dixon is 52.9%. So basically 53.
Whoa.
They're almost neck and neck. But from what I saw going through the leaderboard, it's those two, and the next closest is Benesh with 43.
Oh wow. That is crazy that the top 2 guys are Roughnecks for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I was looking at it too. I was like, wow. And you think of Pace as being an offensive threat, but I did not think of him as being a 53% shooter.
Yeah. No, that's definitely crazy for sure. And then for Vegas, we had Russ, Hannah on the power play, T. Horgraf again, also on the power play, and T. Horgraf again. So T. Horgraf scored 2 before the half.
Yeah, no, he's a big part of it. So then we go into the half and 10-7. Now we're into the third quarter. What happened in the third quarter?
Third quarter, we got King again, Josh Courier, Van Steffen, Hayden Dixon, and for Vegas we had Kirst, Hiller, and Wagner.
Paul, do you remember watching Kirst? He was for Team USA. There was 4 Kirst brothers there, and I know 2 of them
Yeah,
are playing in the NLL. One of them is playing
Wow.
for Vegas, and one of them is playing for Halifax.
I do remember them. Yeah.
There
Yeah,
might be 2 other ones too, but yeah, no, they are great young players. And I tell you, watching this game, I was pretty big on Kirst. I have become a big Kirst fan after this game. I thought he played great for Vegas. Honestly, I don't think it was as bad for Vegas as the score led on to be. I mean, a goalie.
No,
Uh,
exactly.
yeah,
Vegas definitely played really well.
yeah. All right, so then we get into the fourth quarter now, and this is where where I see the game was less competitive. Vegas
Yeah.
didn't seem to be able to really get going in the fourth quarter at all.
Yeah, no, Vegas really didn't find their groove in the fourth quarter because Hayden Dixon scored twice, Dan Taylor scored once, and Vegas only had Jackson at the end.
Yeah. And that's what I mean is like they just didn't seem to be able to get it out. And really, if you look at a quarter, most quarters, if you can keep a team to 2 to 3 goals, 2 is obviously what you want. But when you're going to keep a team out of double digits, you get 2 goal quarters and then 2 3 goal quarters. So you can deal with that. That's a relatively, it's not like their defense and their goalie was really failing them. I just saw Vegas really couldn't get on the board at that point.
Yeah, no, Vegas was really struggling to get on the board at that point.
Yeah.
I think one of the big things is definitely not having Greer there. They're suffering hard on the left side. They just picked up, oh sure, what's his name? Oh, it was Jackson, isn't it? Over on the left hand side there.
Yeah, they
And
picked
he
up Chris
took
Jackson.
yeah, but not having a Greer, that's a huge loss on your offensive side. I don't know. My personal opinion is I think they should be bringing Charlie. I don't. Yeah, I watched him a lot during the Laxnay tournament, and the kid is an offensive threat. There, I know we did it a lot with the with Suits, trying to bring Suits in and Neil Paulus for that matter out the back door, just so that we could have some offensive threat coming back up the field. But you're bringing he's a pterodactyl. You got the videos of it. Watching
Yeah, we
this
do
guy
have
be,
some big
yeah.
highlight goals from him, and he does get up the floor pretty good. Before we get too carried away on Bertrand, and we are going to watch it, and I don't want to get. I know we're going to make Paul upset, but this was not his best game.
I didn't think so. He definitely
Yeah.
didn't play. He looked slow. He just didn't look right. Like he was running well. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts.
Yeah. So Owen, you got the top stuff. Basically the leaders for the stats for the night. Who do we have?
Yeah, so top goal getter tonight were, no surprise from how many times I've said his name already, Hayden Dixon for Calgary with 4, and Casey Jackson with 3 for Vegas.
Yeah. And I mean, so you definitely see Jackson's effect already going into it. But here's
Yeah.
a big thing you've got for the next one with the top assist going to the Calgary captain. And that's what I think really makes this
Yeah.
offense flow when you see him getting points like that.
Yeah, no, Jesse King, even if he's not scoring goals, is very good at getting the ball up the floor to everyone else.
Yeah. How many assists did he end up with?
He ended up with
It's
6
6.
assists. 6 assists tonight. Yep.
Yeah, so he had 6, and the lead assist for Vegas was Hellier with 3, it looks like. Yeah,
Yep.
Owen does a great job putting these stats together for us so we get to look at it. But here's something that Owen's had me paying attention to, and I am very, very surprised with how many the Vegas guy has. But the loose ball count for the night was, I'll let you go ahead and read it, Owen.
Yeah, so with a total, we have Zach Courier, and for Vegas, Zach Courier had 8, and then for Vegas we have Tor Hillcutt with 13 of the night.
Yeah, Tort Reinhold. And 13,
Reinhold,
that's a lot of loose balls. And
Yep.
at one point, he gets Salama so angry with him that, well, we'll see that. And then what they do afterwards with the helmet is pretty priceless.
I thought that was
Same.
And then you hear the commentator, he's like, he's got a problem, the helmet's bent. It's like, I wonder why.
Yeah. And it's funny because I know Eli, and he's most of the time a very level-headed guy, so.
Yeah, you wonder there definitely is some shenanigans, but that's the thing with this sport. They play with so much emotion. So, and then you've got Calgary had 36 shots on Kells and 13 on Joel Watson, and Vegas had 46 shots on Del Bianco, which really, if you're looking at the total of the shots, is about what you can expect from a pretty high production night. So Vegas, production-wise on offense, other than that fourth quarter, really wasn't bad. And if they had been able to continue that and just even gotten a couple more goals, it really, I think, would have made a big difference. But their offense, they lost Greer, like Paul said, and they've got a lot of young parts and pieces moving around with some veterans on that team. So,
yeah.
All right.
So,
and I was going to say your fun facts. These are my favorite.
Oh, yeah. No, I was about to say that too. Okay, so first up, Paul, I don't know if you've heard, but our goalie, Christian Del Bianco, does a program where he donates, where a local firm will match a donation for every assist he gets.
Nice.
To an organization that helps kids get equipment in their hands. So that organization is Kid Sport, and Delves had 2 assists through 3 games this year, and that means assist assist count was up to, I think it was 1,100 when I looked.
Yeah, I think they do
Yeah.
something that's like a couple
It's like
$100
5.
or
Yeah,
500. Yeah,
500 each time.
yeah. So that is so cool that they do that. And Del Bianco, he is quite good with that stick. And actually, that's one thing you see. Kel's used, so he was drafted by Calgary. So he had
Yeah,
some time playing behind Del Bianco, and I've got a clip of it coming up when we watch where you see he tries his own little, Del Bianco getting that long pass out and trying to start the transition.
yeah, no, and like I've said before, Delves is like a master at doing like halfway up the floor passes and landing it.
Oh yeah, and he has some incredible acrobatic saves that we're going to be watching the highlights of. But the
Yeah.
Rough House, you were there, brand new season tickets. What'd you think about the new seats?
Honestly, I liked it because I could see more. Like I was a little over from the corner on the side a bit, and Delves isn't a big guy, but it's still hard to see past all that padding. So I honestly really enjoyed it.
That's awesome. And now you have your father goes with you, correct?
Yeah, my dad and one of my best friends.
Yeah, that's
We all
awesome.
sit
So,
together.
yeah, that's the best part. I love we go down with the kids and the family time at the games is great. But it looks like wow, 13,405. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's packed. That's probably what Albany brings in for the season. You guys brought in for a night.
yeah, yeah. No, like I looked at the Saladome and I was like, "Holy cow! It looks like they were almost about to sell the 3rd bowl."
It was crazy. That's good numbers. And when you get a production like that, you can expect that the teams will be there. But it's a party game. They what is it? The
Yeah.
commercial says, "Come for the party, stay for the game."
Yep, exactly. And it's funny because I was watching an interview with Josh Sanderson actually, and he was saying that having so many fans in the stadium was like having an extra player out there.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then your last fun fact there, you kind of wrap it up where you say that both teams have a bye week, and
Yep.
Calgary's going to be playing Vancouver, and Vegas will be playing San Diego. So we
Yeah.
actually have 2 sets of games we're going to be watching tonight. We're going to watch this game that you just gave us all the stats for, and then we're going to go on to that Vancouver Colorado game, and that is a complete game of 2 halves. I don't know if you watched any of it, but the first half, Vancouver looked like they could, be the dominant team. Oh my God, McCloskey is a genius, and look what he's done, and here we go. And then all of a sudden, the second half hit, and you were like, what happened?
Yeah, I've heard Mouse is making waves over there for sure.
Yeah, no, he's definitely doing great things, but like I said, that second half of that game was rough. They did not.
Hello, Yeti Nation.
Anything. Oh, sorry, I went to the Yeti commercial thing off the start. Sorry, force a habit when I got Paul on. But yeah, so I mean, here you see right here, Vegas, they beat him to the inside, and he passes around. There's not much Delbs can do there, and it looks like, oh my goodness, Vegas. They look like a genius picking Jackson up that early, and here we go. But wow, this play right here, how he still shoots it, it blows my mind. He is just like, he gets
Splits the double, one-handed ripper. That is cool.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, excuse me, sir, how is that possible?
Uh-huh.
Right?
But yeah, and when you look at that, that's why you see Hayden Dixon is right now a 50, basically a 53% goal scorer right there, because when he shoots, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, no, he actually has opened up scoring for Calgary every game so far.
Yeah. I did not know that. That would have been a great fun fact too. But see, here's Kells. He's trying to harness his inner Del Bianco, and he long passes it out. And what a pass! Yeah, and this is Rui, but yeah, Del Bianco though with that beautiful. He just punches it out, and it's almost not even fair.
Yeah. No, some of Delve's saves were like, how did that not go in?
Yeah. Now, Paul, do you watch Calgary a lot, or was this your first time really watching a Del Bianco game?
This was actually my very first time watching it. I picked it up late on Friday night to watch, and it was difficult for myself with the floor. Trying to watch the ball move around, it's difficult. But it's an awesome facility. I love listening to the announcers. They did a great job. Kept me awake at 1:00 in the morning, and it was a great game, like you guys have been saying.
How was
Yeah,
it
no.
when you're there, Owen? Is it a lot easier to track the ball, or do you sometimes have that problem on this floor too?
Honestly, I've just kind of gotten used to it over the last season, but I can see why because our field is such a unique color scheme.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, where are you sitting? You said we can probably see you.
Yeah, so when the camera's actually in the other end,
Okay, we'll have to look for you. But there's
I,
Jack
I'm
Hanna.
on the left. Yeah,
Yeah. Right now, I'm thinking, oh my goodness, Vegas is finally getting it together. Hannah
yeah,
scored, Jackson scored. They're gonna really, but they were on to something here with the long bounce shot, and there's Hogarth.
yeah.
That one could have been a goal, but they called it back a little bit too hard on the pick. Now,
Yeah.
when you're sitting, he's got a black hoodie.
Yeah,
Okay.
my dad's got one of the newer jerseys on. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I definitely see you guys then.
yeah,
That's cool, but wow, what a goal right there. And there's not much you can expect. I mean, yeah, Kells with some of these far out shots, I can understand where, Paul gets a little frustrated watching it, but
yeah,
that right there, that much time and room and Hogarth down below, there's not much you're
yeah,
going to do about it.
Get those wings up. Get those wings up.
Got to
yeah,
fly. Yeah.
yeah. No, it's
But
funny. I actually want to get to a game in Vegas sometime because
I would love to too. Let me know when you're going, but I think this was a big part of the battle right here though, as you see. I mean, Calgary is just relentless. They have so many athletes down low, and they can just force guys up, and they get so many goals off of that. Getting that second rebound, getting up, trying to trap guys out there.
yeah, and that actually what goes back to the training camp where it was super competitive. You have a whole bunch of guys from all over coming in
Yeah,
with the new graphics. Coaching didn't have an easy decision.
yeah. But this is one of Paul's shots, I'm sure that he's talking about. So this is a far out shot. Yeah, it's not
Shaking
an
my
easy
head.
shot, but that's one of those far out shots that you're expecting your goalie to be able to save.
Well, I'm thinking he had the right angle. The goalie couldn't see where it was coming from. Let it zing it, get it on net. That's why get him on net.
Yeah, I like that one. He almost actually punches it into the goal.
Yeah.
But right there, that kind of stuff, the pick off, and then boom,
Yeah.
that was a beautiful goal.
That was for sure.
Yeah,
Looks like
unfortunately,
Jesse DeMays right there.
he does look
Just
like Jesse DeMace, doesn't he? But I tell you, right here, the game is still this is a great game, and then the leader for Calgary is going to step up here.
Yeah. And that's
But
the thing about Calgary. It's always that next man up mentality.
it is, but it always starts down here. It seems for Calgary with the loose
Yeah.
balls. They
Yeah,
get it and they just fly up great.
Yeah, no, they're great at getting loose balls and running up the floor in transition.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, you can see just the defensive lapse, though. Nobody covers King.
Yeah.
He is all alone.
And I got a question about the turf. Is it a rolled turf or are those squares that they put down?
I think it's rolled actually. So
okay,
they have it it's a rug in sections. So you can see the ice layer underneath if you try.
Yeah,
I've definitely seen it in the cracks, but
and now with that shot Greg's got right there, you could see where it was rolled up on the boards a little bit.
Yeah, and we got Josh in the comments, and he said, Vegas is a mystery team. Sometimes they look great, and other times it's like, what is going on out here? And it does seem to start with the goalie, but I mean,
now they got Landon Kells, so hopefully he spent some good time under Delbs.
Doesn't seem to be. I mean,
not enough. He didn't have enough. I'm not a big fan. Other than he was the one. No, that was a different team. Never mind. No,
I mean, that was a very nice shot from Pace, but again, not one of those shots that you would like your goalie to step up. It wasn't that fast of a pass over. He steps down, but
yeah, no, it was a very physical game too. I'm surprised.
They were beating the crap out of each other. Yeah, here comes the late call.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, I'm surprised. There was at one point where I thought gloves were going to drop, and I'm like, what? Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, this was a very physical game. Neither team was relenting at all. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rui looked pretty good out there. He had a couple transition goals. Yeah, see, there's a tripping, and now you're going to see a power play goal. Vegas has got to be happy. That was great ball movement. And now again, you're looking at the score. Vegas now makes it 5-6. How was the atmosphere in the roughhouse? It didn't seem to ever really quiet down. It never seemed like Vegas was able to kind of take the wind out of your guys' sails.
No, the atmosphere in the Rough House was great because, like, basically every goal got answered within a few minutes of each other.
Yeah, every time they scored, it was, yeah. But here's one of the prime examples of how Del Bianco plays with the defense so good. Right there, you see the check
Yeah.
knocks the ball down, but Delbs comes right out and grabs it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the atmosphere in the Rough House, honestly, it's not just advertising when they say it's a party.
Oh, yeah. And then, I mean, look at, yeah, Sam's.
It was a great breakout. That was a great breakout. Put the ball out in front
Yeah.
of the guy. Guy runs underneath it, picks it up, and buries it. That was
Yep.
nice.
Yeah, Simpson's.
Yeah.
Now that would have been one of his donations to the charity there.
Yeah.
For getting the assist.
I think
Nice.
so. He gives 250, and I think the team gives 250. But there's another beautiful Del Bianco save. He comes
Yeah.
flying across the crease.
Boom. See that? He just reaches back and like grabs it.
Boom.
I remember watching that one and we were all like, holy cow, what just happened?
Yeah.
That was that last one was a nice post to post.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here, I've got bang.
Right
He
there.
just comes over, grabs it,
Yeah.
Bang.
and,
Like-
and the place erupts.
Yeah. Like I was sitting there and I'm like, how did that not go in?
Right.
Yeah. No, I
It
thought
was
for sure that was going to
ridiculous.
be a goal. And how about this hit? So we're about to watch you jump up and cheer here in a second, I think.
Oh no, it's not me. I'm farther down.
Oh, you're
Oh, wait.
further. Oh, yeah, you're right
No,
here.
I'm right there, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you guys are right here, but
Yeah, by the second set of stairs at the bottom, yeah.
could you hear this hit
Yes.
when he came around the back? That is,
Yeah.
that's rough. Oh, I
Well,
went back
it was-
a little too far.
It was funny because now I'm right up against the sideboard, so it's like I even like when we were jumping and cheering, I like smashed myself against the board and check. Yeah, bounced off the board and was like, yeah.
Yeah, I tell you that. Vegas, they at least made a very competitive game out of it by not letting it get too far away until the start of the third quarter.
Yep.
But here's Salama, and then
Yeah.
This-
Oops. How'd that go? I didn't see anybody stomp their foot.
yeah, here he comes. I love it. This
Here
is
comes-
Reinhold. He had the 13 loose balls,
Yeah.
but he also picked up the bucket and stomped it, and then I just stomp.
Yeah. No.
And I love
That's
it.
a desert dog.
Yeah, the commentators actually say, they're like, yeah, his helmet's bent. I don't know if it's gonna work. Oh, he gets it. But yeah, here's on that power play, because he ended up with 4 minutes. They ended up with 2. But yeah, you leave. That was Hogarth in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't leave him with that much time and space. That's not even
Right.
fair to Kells, but
Yeah.
I'm thinking they really should have made that right after they made their fourth goal in the third. That's where they should have pulled the goalie, swapped him up. You know, at that point, it was a motivational thing for Vegas. You know, they went on and pumped in 3 more goals going into the fourth quarter, and to say it was a close game, it was a good game.
well,
it was a very good
there's
game.
another goal from King to give him a 2-goal lead.
Oh my goodness! You have the weather report that Courier did up.
Yeah, so Courier, I love this. Calgary, the whole town or the city, it looks
Same.
like it's in on it.
Yeah.
So he just guarantees the forecast is going to be a good time at the Rough House at 7.
Yeah, he literally in this clip says, And at 7, it'll be 100% of a good time at the Rough House.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you can see it coming in. 100% chance of a good time at the Rough House at 7 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he was on the morning news, and I saw that same clip, and I was like, nice. But
And-
the thing you got to remember is Zach, he lives in Calgary now. So that's why he's a lot of the promotion, does a lot of the promotional events for Calgary.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and
Because
then
he could drive in, right?
yeah, that does make things a lot easier. But then you see, I mean, Del Bianco comes up huge, and
Yeah.
again, Kells, they get it by him.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like one of the things that never ceases to impress me is Delves' long passes up the floor.
Yeah, no, it's amazing how, and he puts them in the tight spots because you see a lot of guys just lead them and they let their guy catch up. But they definitely found a soft spot shooting up top there on Kells. You
Yeah.
see quite a few of the replays are from up there, and they get quite a few goals on that.
Yeah.
But right here, this is Calgary right there. He blocks the shot and then forces the over and back.
Yeah.
That was Smith. He had a pretty good game. That pass to Van Scheppen completely sets up the transition.
Yeah, no, and that's one thing Calgary has seemed to do well in recent years is their transition game.
Yeah, their transition game's been good. Big pass across, another one on Kells.
Yep.
And this is when it started to kind of be like, okay, guys, you better do something.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's one Delbs is going to want back. He doesn't usually let those in. I don't think he was quite ready for that one.
And knowing Delbs the way I do, he's often his biggest critic on goals like that.
Oh, I'm sure he was muttering to himself. And then they go in and they do their little ritual. Now, what is Delb's ritual? I noticed like every goalie, after a goal or after the play goes down to the other end, everybody has a different ritual.
He just kind of walks like a half circle from what I've noticed.
Uh-huh. But yeah, here, I mean, Vegas got 3 quick ones, but that's a big save.
Yeah.
Right here, he catches him up in the face. Boom.
Oh.
That was, yeah, that was down in front of you, too. That was cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah, things don't always go your way, but I
And
tell you,
it
Vegas,
happens.
Vegas did pretty good job on the transition, especially when you consider how good
Yeah.
Calgary usually is on the transition game. They don't usually get beat a lot. They've got a lot of guys that play up high.
Yeah, no. And it's going to be interesting to see Calgary against Vancouver in a couple weeks.
Yes, I can't wait to see that. Josh posed a good question. The best 1 and 2 team. It could very well be Calgary, but wait till we watch the second half of that Colorado Mammoth game. I think they're a 1 and 2 team as well, and that Colorado could give them a good run for their money. Right now, I think I don't know. It all depends on how Carlson, if he can stay that hot. I mean, Delbs has a track record of doing it.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful feed and goal right there.
Boom. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they pulled that's Watson at this point.
Yeah.
And really, that was when they traded him. It kind of was the fire. Yeah, they got a penalty there. Courier got
Yeah.
one, but that was
Yeah. Zach was like super pissed about that penalty. I remember we were all going like, "What, ref?"
yeah. Yeah, he was not happy. But that when they changed Watson, that really was the spark plug that kind of got everybody going.
Yeah.
And the man up at that point in time.
Yeah. Next man up.
Yeah, well, you guys couldn't see it, but he does throw a left cross there on the replay screen. It showed your
Yeah.
body was blocking him. They were kind of pushing and shoving, but I mean, I don't know. Watching it from this perspective, I don't know if he takes the hand off the stick though. So maybe it's more of like a left cross, cross check. That was a 6 save by Delbs. Though he just gets the
Yeah.
fingers on it, and that's something like the goalies. They don't even know, like he can't look and see where he is. He's facing the other way. And
Yeah.
he's still just from years of playing knows like, okay, it has to be here or here. But there's another pick off. Calgary, good job
Yep.
of getting in the passing lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pace. I tell you, pace is looking good. Calgary's got a lot to be happy about with this game. That was a great, and this was only what, the second game in the Rough House?
The first,
Oh, this
actually.
was it.
Yeah, this was the home opener game.
Yeah, and now you got two of these saves where Del Bianco just dives across and robs it out of midair.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can't wait. Unfortunately, I have to wait a month now because I have to wait till February till there's game at home.
I
But
hear you. We had two quick ones from Albany, and then it's been a break. But here, I mean, you see Vegas, he just gets beat in the two-man game, and
oh yeah,
you can't leave any of these pros in here with that much time. Nobody between them and the goalie. If they can throw a couple of fakes, there's nothing you can expect your goalie to do on that.
yeah,
I love how Watson just sits on him after he gets in the crease too.
right,
He's like, "Yeah, take this, take this guy."
yeah,
But I mean, at this point, we're pretty much wrapped up here with the game. I mean,
yeah.
you're definitely thinking. I actually noticed some of the Roughhouse faithfuls were starting to kind of leave a little early to maybe beat some traffic.
Yep. Yeah, no, I don't know what it's like in Albany, but in Calgary we have the train that gets super busy right there, and we have like very little parking lot.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the train. There's not a lot of public transportation in Albany. Albany's not that big of a city, really. And most of the people that are at the game, I bet you, are from the suburbs of Albany.
Yeah, fair.
But I mean, Watson looked pretty good. That was a nice grab right there.
Yeah,
But that man right there, I think, Del Bianco,
yeah,
huge part of that team, and it's great to see him getting around, you know,
yeah.
to it. And he's nice to see the team coming back after it was a pretty rough start.
Yeah, and another cool thing that Calgary does at the end of their game always is they come and put up barriers and do a signing.
Oh, that's Albany does that after all the games too. They go down on the floor, and it is really
Yep.
cool. The kids love it. They get to go down and see them. We got to actually do one of our interviews after the signing with Sturos, one of the guys that plays on one of our teams we film in the summertime too. So that was cool. But so who else do you think, Paul? What is your thought on the 1 and 2 teams? Josh in the comments wants to know who the best.
Who's the best out of the 1 and 2 teams? I'm going back to you got to go to Buffalo. I'm sorry, as far as they've played the Storm hard, that was a good game. As far as it came down to Albany, that was a good game. I was at the Seals game. That was an awesome game, and that's the one they won, hung the banner. And I got to say, from what I've seen, I'm still going with Buffalo.
I mean, I can see why. My concern with Buffalo is yeah. Yeah, I was laughing. He said the same thing with the traffic there. But I don't know. The way Georgia and Dobson were able to shut down Buffalo's offense, I'm really wondering what's going on with that offense. I know it's early in the season and they'll hopefully get things worked out, but they didn't have a lot of parts and pieces that moved. So you're just wondering kind of what's happening. Or what were your thoughts as far as offensively, how they were so stuttered by Georgia?
Yeah, Nanito. Your offensive threats aren't, Bernie or Brian. I mess it up all
Burn,
the time.
yeah.
22 there. He only
Josh
had
Byrne.
2 goals. Yeah, he had 2 goals and I think 2 assists on the game. When I watched him, I think the guy had 5 goals and 3 assists, and Dane had his normal 7 assists and stuff like that. But you got to have the Nanito come through.
You gotta have him. And actually, though, Dane has not had a lot of goals.
No, not a lot of goals, but he's got the assists. I mean, normally every goal has an assist. You want to know a goal? If I got an assist, that means there's a goal. 1 and 1 equals 2, in my opinion. But in regards to he's producing. If he only had 3 assists, then I'd be like, man, what's going on with him? But 7 assists, I think he had in the last game.
He's the league leader right now with 19, and then right behind him is Jesse King with 18. Then Mitch Jones and Ethan Walker. But yeah, no, I mean Dane is definitely, but 1 goal is all he's got 3 games into it. That is very yes, it is nice to see the 19 goals, but 1 goal. And when you look at his shots, he's taken 17 shots though.
Yeah,
Whoa.
He when we watched him when we was up at Banditland, he was the last one off the court after every period, and getting those shots. And the guy's got a howitzer. I mean, he's got a cannon that goalies are reading him. Is he being too predictable?
5.8%. He's
Is
shooting
he not?
5.8% right now. That's less than 10%. That is not good.
Is he going through the middle, or is he just shooting from the outside? Everything I'm seeing, it's all outside shots.
He's an
either
outside shooter usually, though. He's got that long body. He's he's like that. Those guys with the eyes of the stick, and they shoot so far away from him. But he's definitely not on the net. I mean, he is getting a lot of assists, which is good. But when you're taking 17 shots, though, and you're only getting one, it's like, oh.
Or none.
But he does have 22 loose balls, so maybe he's picking up a bunch of his own rebounds. So that kind of makes up for it as well. I mean, you got to take a look at the whole picture. He's definitely not hurting the team, but he's not helping the team by not getting himself on the board at all.
Yeah, I think the next question is going to be: is Vince? There's a tire that has been ridden quite many years. So how much tread is still on that tire?
Well, plus, I mean, those guys play a long season. Then they all play all summer. That's a great point. Josh brings up that, the extra age, the extra games. I mean, they're playing all summer long. Vince is playing up in Canada in the MSL. Dane and everybody else, or a lot of the guys are playing in the PLL. I mean, it's an exhausting season, and it doesn't give you a lot of time off. And then you got to.
Well, Nanatoke played with what's his name for Halifax, and they won the Man Cup, didn't they? Was he
on that Chiefs team?
I think he was on that Chiefs team.
There was a lot of guys on that Chiefs team.
Yeah. I believe Nanatoke was on that team. Those guys, the beating they take in that league. We think this league is bad and not bad, but I mean, you get into the wooden stick league, and you want to know what you're feeling them sons of guns.
Yeah. Plus those guys all play on concrete. Most of those games are polished concrete. I mean, that's brutal. I mean, I don't care. I know a lot of the guys, and you talk to so many of these guys, and they're like, oh, no, we love it. It's just like when you were kids. But playing on polished concrete is no easy thing on your joints. And the older you get, the more of a beating you're going to take. That's a good point that you bring up with a lot of those guys playing up there in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Even watching like Junior A and stuff play on polished concrete, it's like, you just took that dive and you're walking it off.
Yeah, they all do. They're nuts when it comes to that. All right, we got. We'll get into this game but yeah, I mean, you see Vancouver here. They are on fire. They score pretty much a goal a minute in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Whoa.
There's the first one.
Well, there's a reason why they're my secondary team.
Yeah, I knew that you liked him, so I was like, oh, we definitely got to check out this game. Plus, they are playing Calgary next.
Yeah, no, I'm for sure going to be tuning into that game because that's going off against Mouse. Mouse basically knows what Calgary baseline is, right? And then you get Josh Sanderson, who played in 09, I think. It was under Mouse at the time, so.
Yeah, he played for him for a while. He's got quite the record there. I think his job is a little easier than what Mouse is dealing with in Vegas. In Vancouver, I'm sorry. But I think you could really see his systems starting to show here.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you see, like at the beginning of the game, though, they just were on fire. And then it almost was just like they got exhausted. Like everything they were just missing, the ball stopped bouncing their way. But I mean, kudos to Colorado because they pulled Dylan Ward, tried to give him a breather, put him back in. What are your thoughts on that, Paul? Where they do the quick pull, get some water, get back in?
Why not? You want to get the guy, get his marbles squared away, get him reset, refocus. If that's your dog. Sometimes maybe the new guy coming in is ready to go, or does he just need that rubber? Does he just need that time? I like it. We do it with the Yeti. If Kraz wasn't on it, Sully would go in. If Kraz was on, then you want to know it. You let him run.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that's the great thing about having a solid backup, being able to come in and taking care of business.
yeah,
We
no,
were,
that's fair, Paul. Like I've seen it with Dell. If he misses 3 goals or whatever, they'll take him out for a minute, get some water, and he's good to go again. Like
yeah,
getting that
that sniffing
refocus.
salt, that these
Yeah.
guys, you want to talk about ripping up and getting yourself refocused. That stuff, that rhino snot or whatever they call it,
Rhino
is
snot.
something. Oh my golly, it'll straighten your eyeballs right out. That's for sure.
I like it. Rhino salt. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Rhino snot, rhino
Rhino
snot.
snot. But I tell you,
Yeah.
Zed Williams, back on this game, Zed Williams got him going though. I mean, he really showed he shoots it, makes sure that they get the rebound, and then ends up scoring on that. And that's what leaders do. You see him back. He served his couple of game suspension, and now this should be a much better Colorado team. But credit to Vancouver, they quickly got another shot on Dylan Ward. They really figured out what was working for them. They scored, but you know, you gotta Zed Williams. Good luck stopping him when he drives in like that. He's a beast. He is so much fun to watch. With his size and his hands, he's one of those players that like even if you're not a Mammoth fan, like you're going to whatever game the Mammoth are playing in your town to watch him. He's one of those players, I think, anyways. When you really see him when he's on.
He's a John Grant Jr. style player.
Like right there, that behind the back, yeah,
Yeah.
it,
Oh
it was
yeah.
a nice
That
save.
guy kind of reminds me of Dixon, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
yeah,
the way he like got in there and dived like that. Boom.
yeah. No, and then Carlson, like I said, after he came in, Carlson was lights out for them.
Oh.
Yeah, see, and I think this was
Whoa.
pretty much the end of it for Dylan Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, delayed penalty. Colorado gets the sixth guy. Boom. Doesn't even need it.
Yeah.
Tired.
Right
And
past
right,
Bolded.
yeah. And I tell you what, Bold actually surprised me with. He did get quite a few big saves. There's one of them there. And then,
Yeah. I believe Bold, didn't he come out of retirement this season?
yes, he was retired, and then he came back to play for. Then the same thing happened with Poulon, but Poulon's playing backup in San Diego. But I think it's because he lives out there.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I actually interviewed Boldy, and he's a great guy. Like he lives out in BC, so it makes sense they pull him out of retirement.
Where was he? He played last for, was it the Rush?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he was up in Sass. But no, I
Yeah.
mean and when you look at, the second half goals too, it's like, oh man, you gave up that many in just 2 quarters. But a lot of those weren't his fault. I think Vancouver really was struggling
Yeah.
defensively. And, and
Yeah.
and honestly, credit I think has to go to a lot to Carlson though. You see him and he is on fire. And right here though, Colorado, the first face off after they score,
Oh
after
yeah.
Vancouver scores, and then they just kind of set the tone. And this is where the game, like you think, okay, we're back in it. But again, McCloskey gets them all riled up. Instead,
Yeah.
yeah, he holds the stick and then looks at it like, how can you call that? He literally takes it out of his hand as
Yep.
he,
Mouse's eye for calling plays like that.
yeah,
It takes a lot of game know-how for
yeah.
sure.
But like you look at this Charlene Beatty shot right here over the top of the shoulder.
Yep.
The only spots you see any net is near side, and it's because we're sitting a little bit to the right of him. So it
Yeah.
looks like he's got that far left completely covered, but somehow he throws it over that shoulder.
Okay, you're telling me Vancouver won this game?
Yeah, that's what it would look like. I don't know how they overturned this call. So they called a
Let me
goal.
see. Oh yeah, no, he was in the crease.
Yeah. They say what? It was his hand.
Let me
His
see.
hand touched down.
Oh yeah.
It's that left hand comes just off the stick.
Yeah. And they called it no goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another penalty.
Yeah. Wow, looks like Vancouver has a better fan outcome than when I was there too.
Yeah, no, they definitely look like they're getting better. Here comes some 4-on-4 though. Unfortunately, the Mammoth decided they didn't want to be on the power play, and then that's bold right there, making a huge save though. I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah.
he gets
He was in
underneath.
Halifax. Bold was in Halifax in 2022.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, that's right. He did take a few shots in there with Hill.
Yeah.
That's right. Good job, Paul. You're the stats guy now. You're our
I'm on
technology
it,
guy.
brother.
Aren't you?
I don't have to talk. I can sit here and look at my thing and scroll around. I like it.
Then you come in with all the knowledge and make us all look good. But here yet,
Yeah.
OJ was talking about the him drawing up the plays right here, and here you see they're on the power play, 16 seconds left. They don't pull the goalie because they've got the extra man anyways, but he draws it up beautifully. Just working it back and forth, and you can see they sucked everybody over and just get him down there.
Yeah,
and
and that's a lot of what Mouse did for Calgary too. Is he figures out ways to divide up the opponent
yeah.
like that.
So this is the last goal for Vancouver of the
Yep.
evening.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we haven't hit the second quarter yet. So we have 30 minutes and like 10 seconds, 5 seconds, whatever it ends up being. Big save. They called him in the crease, but that was a big save, Boldy. And then they do the face off. But this is so when you look at the first half stats versus the second half stats, I need to hide OJ for a second. Chapow.
Okay.
And
I'll
he's
just
gone. All right. Now, but yeah, so when you look at it, Vancouver has 21 or 25 shots. Colorado had 21, and at the end of the first half, it was 11-5. And you look at the loose ball battle compared to what everything ends up being afterwards, and it's just crazy. So Vancouver only gets 14 shots on goal, and that's in 2 more periods and in overtime. At one point, at one point they go. I think it's like with 5 minutes left in the game, they don't get a shot. It's bad. Yeah, Vancouver's offense kind of fell apart, and I mean you got to give credit to the defense of Colorado, and Carlson did play good, but at the end of the day, did not get anything. Well, they do get one, but it gets called back. Yeah, very frustrating night for Vancouver, I'm sure. But Carlson's making saves like that.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
There's Bold with another big save.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Both goalies were playing good. There wasn't a lot of goals, and then halfway through the third quarter, Colorado finally starts to break the code. But yeah, Bold, you see him making like just huge save after huge save. That's what I mean. Is the Vancouver defense you could see was just like that's a huge mental mistake right there. You cannot let somebody run in from the restraining line all the way
Untouched.
down. Yeah,
untouched.
And then right here, they lose the quarter, the battle in the corner. Nobody comes out onto him, and that's what happens. There's not one stick check on him as he runs all the way into the middle of the field, comes back. Let me think about it. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to shoot. But yeah, and then they pull Bold for a little bit because the next face-off right after the goal, Colorado comes right back down. That was sick.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Damn.
nobody gets on him. They don't have a stick on him as he's jumping through the air. You can see he's pumped, screaming at the Vancouver fans. And another one. And this is when they pull Bold for a little bit.
Yeah.
After 3, they do the short pull.
Yeah.
Boom.
This is a bad hit. I get a couple replays of this one because that catches
him. He got it up there. Yeah. Right across the throat.
Yeah. That one looks the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah. The refs definitely made the right call on that one. The automatic 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But there's 7 minutes of power play time. Vancouver doesn't score on.
Nothing.
They only get a couple of shots. But look at this. I mean, Colorado has better scoring opportunities. That's the only save for the backup. I forgot. This was actually a pretty nice save. That's why I clipped it. He gets in and faces that. Makes a huge glove save on him. But yeah, there was more goal scoring opportunities for the shorthanded team.
Yeah, and that's definitely something you don't want the other team to have when you're on the power play.
Yeah. And then, yeah, every time they do, Carlson is all over it. But now we start the fourth quarter, and right off the bat in the fourth quarter, they take off, and now it's a 1-goal game. So Vancouver, yeah, you would think Vancouver. I still can't believe they didn't score a goal in the third or the fourth quarter. I mean, part of it is Carlson's making some big saves, but the Colorado defense, really, with the exception of, you'll see there's like 3-4 good plays here that are actual goal scoring opportunities. But other than that, you'll watch the defense did a really good job for Colorado. Yeah, see, they drew another penalty, pulled the goalie out, extra man.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that hurts. And then on the power play, big save, bold, but the rebound gets picked up and they get the reset. Time and time again, Paul knows, we talk about it all the time. Offensive rebounds. If you can get multiple sets, yeah. And there's the shorthanded team again with the best goal scoring opportunity on the power play.
Yeah.
It's basically as the power play ends, but it's still a power play for Colorado.
Yeah.
But here comes Carlson stepping out. He had a great
Oh,
game.
yeah.
He came out and active. I tell you, I would not, Colorado. I'm really interested to see what they do for their next game.
Yeah. Who are they playing next?
I'll have to look. And yeah, they tied it up with 5 minutes left. A beautiful laser from McLaughlin.
Whoa. Yeah. See, judging by that first half, you wouldn't have thought it would go to overtime.
Yeah. No, and
Colorado Buffalo.
Oh,
Oh,
that's gonna be a good game, man.
that
But
would be. Yeah.
I really wonder, and actually, the way Buffalo's offense has been struggling, I don't know. I guess we're gonna find out, Paul, which one of us is right on who's the best 1 and 2 team next weekend.
Definitely going to be interesting. That's for
Yeah.
sure. 7:30 in Buffalo, so the jet lag is on the
Well,
the
I'll
West
be in
Coast
Albany.
team. You'll be at Albany.
I'll
I'm
be
going
at
to be in
Albany watching the
Onondaga.
game. So we'll have to watch this one. Yeah, we'll watch that one maybe Sunday morning.
Nice.
But yeah, here you see Bold, big kick save there to keep him in the game. Yeah, I mean, I think Bold had a pretty good game. Obviously,
He's not a young guy either. Bolden's been in the league
No.
several years.
Yeah, no, like I remember when researching some of the stuff for the interview I did with him, he's been around since Vancouver was like the stealth still.
Yeah. They don't get a shot at all in the last couple of minutes. Like the closest they get on net is right here. But like this is just how the rest of the night goes for them. They like just miss the ball. It just bounces away from them. See, Williams, that's a nice save, Bold. He gets his glove on the bounce pass. That almost went in. Zed Williams was almost a hero. But yeah, this is just typical of what happened to Vancouver for the rest of the night.
Oh, yeah.
Missed the pass. It doesn't work. Throw it down. Every fan in Colorado was going nuts because it hits the back of the net. So it goes off the boards and hits the back of the net. And when it hits the back of the net, there's 0.7 seconds left. So I thought it went in too watching it on TV. I was like, what? I was like, oh, that's on the wrong side of the net. But yeah. Yeah, Colorado comes right out in overtime. They test Bold. He's up to the task early, but at least in overtime, you'll see like Vancouver right here. This is a beautiful play. He gets the 8-second call and then forces himself in. But that sums up Vancouver's night. A great play. But now look at there's going to be 2 Vancouver guys on 1 Mammoth guy, and who's going to come up with this ball? Oh, wait, we're going to run right by it. Now Colorado picks it up, and they've got 3 guys trapped down below him if he flies up the floor. Yeah.
Ooh, this ain't looking pretty.
No, and that's just every time Vancouver, it looks like, oh my goodness, here we go, we're going to get something. And it just keeps crashing. So then right here, they think they win. Everybody's off the bench. They're like, woo, Keegan Ball's the hero.
And the goal gets called back.
Yeah, you can see he steps in it.
Oh, yeah.
Before he comes over. But actually, they don't even. So I paused it and put the picture there. I think it's his arm and his foot's down now just before it crosses the line. So I think Carlson got just enough of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. contacts it
No
prior
goal,
to. No goal. We're going further into overtime. McLaughlin makes that stop on Keegan Ball. He just, tried before. He said, "You're going to overturn this one. Let me try a 5-hole shot on you. Now we'll work it
yeah.
around." And this is another, big save.
Oh,
But the big play is the rebound pickup.
yeah.
Now they come down,
Uh,
and Robinson, he figured something out on Bold. All
oh,
4 of his goals are very similar. He bounces it, and it
yeah.
bounces just in the top of the 5-hole, every one.
Whoa.
And same thing. That's his 4th goal. He had 3 in a row. He went on an absolute tear to get them
Crazy.
back in the game. And yeah,
Yeah.
no, Connor Robinson, that was huge. It was a crazy game, but I can't wait to see next week the Buffalo game, and actually the next time we'll see Vancouver will be against the Roughnecks. So
Yeah.
what are you expecting? I mean, you've just seen what your offense can do, 17 goals. Looking at that, how are you expecting your offense to fare against that
If
defense?
if they can figure out Bold the same way Colorado did, it it should be a pretty interesting game for sure.
Yeah, it does. I just read Josh's comment, which was 7 minutes of power play and no goals. It sounds like the Firewolves.
Oh,
Which it does. It does. I mean, we have probably almost as many shorthanded goals as we have power play goals. But no, I mean, I think. So, are you expecting like a 15 goal game? Or are you thinking that you'll be kind of facing the Vegas of old? I mean, you guys are on fire right now offensively, but now you're playing against the old coach. How's that going to pan out?
yeah. No, I honestly am interested to see how it's gonna pan out for sure because, like I said, Coach Mouse built most of what Calgary is, and a lot of the talent he attracted to Vancouver when he went there. Going
Yeah.
up against some of our guys, it's definitely going to be an interesting game for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be very much a tick for tack game.
Oh yeah. No, it very well could be and go back and forth, but I mean,
Yeah.
what I'm curious to see is how their defense does against you guys. They were able to
Yeah.
do a pretty good job against Colorado at the beginning of the game,
Yeah.
but you guys are really good at transition, and that's where Vancouver seemed to get
To
beat
struggle. Yeah.
it was transition and that far bounce shot from Connor Robinson somehow.
Yeah. No. And if if I know Mouse, he's already in there telling the guys what to do to defend against that major offense.
Yeah. Now Vegas has a week off, Paul. What are you thinking they do? Joel Watson starting or Kel starting?
You want to know what? They're probably gonna who's got the bigger contract. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to who we paying more, and I like the size of Watson. He's a big boy. This Kells just seems a little bit smaller, and those little small enough for a ball to get through, and he's getting killed on the outside.
They're playing San
As
Yeah.
Diego
a
too, and
lot of
San
these guys
Diego's
are.
got a lot of big shooters. But that's
Yeah,
one
Yeah.
thing.
I
San
mean,
Diego,
Stats is going to come in, throwing bombs.
yeah. No, I mean that's going to be a huge game for them. Albany and Halifax we talked about last night. This Panther City Georgia game, I don't know. Has anybody watched Georgia
Ooh.
play it at all? Because Georgia's defense has looked so good.
No, I haven't watched Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia's defense is on. They're good right now, and their offense is doing pretty good. They're getting a lot of production. Jackson for them, Shane Jackson has been stepping up. Me and Paul talked about it. He really is a huge, difference. Kels has been chased in the last 2 games, I believe. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
that is true. They probably will start him, but I think that Panther City game it'll be interesting because Panther City, they're they're not looking great, but defensively, they've been able to, stifle some of these teams. I think the biggest game besides Albany next week, though, is definitely Colorado Buffalo. We're going to
Yeah.
see who the best 1 and 2 team is. I honestly think it's going to be Colorado. I think
I
it,
have a feeling Colorado might take it too.
I think Buffalo is a very emotional team. They might be able to rally. If Buffalo gets the lead early, I think they'll be okay. But if not, I think, yeah, and even then, I don't know if Buffalo's offense has been up to the task.
When's the last time Bandit Land lost 2 in a row?
I don't know.
Oh.
That's a good
That's
trivia
just
fact. I wish I should ask Trevor. He would probably know that. But yeah, no, that's
back.
that. I don't know.
That,
It's early in the year though
that's
too, and Colorado usually doesn't really peak until we got like 4 or 5 games left in the season before we can, that's when Colorado starts to get it together and they all of a sudden want to look like they're a real team. So you never know.
well, they
Yeah.
only got 12 in, and Buffalo got what 8 on the Storm this past week. It was 9-8. Is that what it was?
Yeah,
So I don't know.
that's what I mean. Is
I'm going with Buffalo. The
well, of course,
Nanticoke is
I know
gonna.
you're going with Buffalo too, but I think that I honestly don't think Matt Vince is. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Matt Vince is playing. He's not getting any younger. It's a tough sport, running all over the place. But home last week, home this week. Hopefully, it'll be good for him.
It
I
was
tell you,
three in a row.
yeah.
They were they
Oh
had
yeah,
the Seals, and then the Storm, and then it'll be Colorado.
yeah.
So
It, yeah, it'll be interesting. I think this is a huge game, and now with the unified standings, each one of these games means so much more.
Yeah, no, like how is the unified standings looking right now,
The
Greg?
unified standings is I'm very excited with it, especially, I mean, obviously, I don't even know if I need to say it, but we all know who's up top, so that makes things very exciting as far as I'm concerned. Oh,
well, I would clearly say it nice and loud, Greg. Nice and loud.
that's what
Who's in
I
that
was
first
trying to do
place?
it. We got the Albany
Alba-
Firewolves.
Albany's
There
up
you go.
top. Oh,
Albany's up top in Toronto, and I tell you, I watched that Toronto New York game today. New York, the Riptide actually looked better than I thought when you looked at that score. When really they came out really slow, but once the New York offense figured it out, the Toronto defense did a pretty good job. They never really let the game get it never really was getting caught up that much. But I was really impressed. I think the score when you look at that 14-8 score was kind of deceiving because it was the second quarter. I think they didn't score at all and they only got one goal in the first quarter. They kind of played like Colorado, except they weren't able to put up 12 goals because they were only able to put up 8. And I think that New York offense is getting better. Their defense really did impress me, though, a few times. And then obviously to allow 14 goals. But I think it goes back to the goalie, too. If you don't have one of those elite goalies, I think you're going to expect to get 14, 15 goals scored on you a game.
You got to have a big dog.
Yeah. Rochester is, looking good. But right now, it's early. It's early. I mean, but we've got a lot
yeah.
of 2-1 teams. But I think it's going to be huge for this right now. I mean, just the way it shakes out. I think when you look at one thing that really didn't surprise me very much though was when you look at this, you see Vegas 56 goals against. That's why they're you know 1-3. But then when you look at the Nighthawks, they have 55 goals against them. It's only one less,
Yeah.
but they're sitting at 3-1. The difference is Vegas doesn't have Connor Fields and Ryan Smith.
Ah.
Yeah, so I looked at that. So Connor Fields is top in the league. He's shooting 20%, 13 goals on 64 shots. But Ryan Smith, who is one of my favorite young players to watch, he's a monster of a man, and he's got those soft hands. But he's shooting 30% with 12 goals on 39 shots, and that is the big thing. If all of Rochester can continue to score, Connor Fields keeps being the vacuum cleaner that he is because he picks up a lot of loose balls as well. Then I think Rochester has a chance, but it's the same thing. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. What happened
Yep.
to Rochester last year? They were what? 8-0, 10-0?
8-0 to start, weren't they?
Yeah, they were 8-0 to start, and then I think they made it all the way to like 12-0 or something, and then they finished the year like 12-7. Yeah, it was terrible. They fell apart. And that's the problem when you don't have the
That's what.
goaltending.
Well, that and Fields is didn't he break his wrist?
He
And they
did
didn't
get
get him back right. He came back right before the playoffs.
he was out for a bit. Yeah, that's tough. And
Yeah.
Hartley's out
Yeah.
with a concussion. He took a ball off the head. Congratulations to Dylan Sprents, Tuscarora Tomahawk playing in the. He's dressing up for the Rochester games. So maybe we'll get to see Dylan Sprents play. I'm really hoping we do. I'd love to get a chance to talk to him about that opportunity. But Saskatchewan is right up there, and the Philadelphia Wings. And again, I think the Wings are the
Yeah.
same thing. And then it drops down to 43, and you see the Firewolves 43, 42, 41. But Toronto, nobody's talking about Toronto's defense right now.
Yeah.
And you look at that, 25 goals against. Rose
Holy.
right now is playing good. I think part of this is the competition Toronto's played. They've
Yeah.
had a couple games, like the game against the Riptide. Uh, yeah, I think New York is going to get some teams. I like Stamper's 3 up, 3 down. He said that the Riptide have written to the NLL and asked if they could just start the season in January from now on. They don't want to start in December anymore because they're like, oh, and the Century in December.
Yeah. 0-3. Yeah.
So what are we expecting? Are we expecting 5 teams out of the East, or who are we thinking? Like if you were to look at it right now, where if we just went the regular season standings, how did I get to that screen? I'll get it back up here. There it is. Oh no. But if we're looking at it right now, 1, 2, 3, 4 West teams, or East teams, 1
Yeah.
West team. Yeah, so in the top 8, we would have 2 teams from the West.
Yeah.
If you were to take it right now. So this completely changes things up. And right now, you can't
Totally.
expect Buffalo to stay where they are. And I also don't expect Colorado to stay where they are. But
No. I also don't expect Panther City to be where they are for much longer either.
no, they're also looking good. That's the problem is every team,
Yeah.
I think, is looking like there hasn't been a lot of easy
Yeah.
games. There's been a couple of blowouts earlier, but now things are starting to come together. And when it comes to goaltending, you get a hot goalie all of a sudden, and boom, you're in luck. And I think Higgins, Higgins looked good. I think he'll,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for this week's games. We've got a lot of action coming up this week. I know I'm just excited that Albany's also finally playing at home again.
Nice. Yeah. Like I said earlier, unfortunately, I have to wait the whole majority of this month until I'm back in the rough house.
Yeah, that's no good. That's not good for your system.
No, like before I went to that game the other night, I was containing so much excitement to be back in there. It was ridiculous.
All right. Well, guys, we've been doing this for over an hour, actually at 1 hour and 10 minutes. So let's say goodbye to everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. Owen Falk, I'll let you sign off. Tell everybody real quick about your what you got going on with your TechSlacks channel.
Yeah, so TechLax, I have some interviews I've done with guys all over the sport of lacrosse, from like the NLL down to like U15 players.
Yeah, so you have a very wide range of interviews. You've got the past, current, and future stars of the league. That
Yep.
is 100% sure. And Paul, we know you've got the Utica Yetis. And how is that going? So you guys are not really Yeti form yet. You're getting opening, but now you're starting to talk about what things are going to kick off. What are we talking? Like St. Patty's Day parade, then it's go time?
We're right before we're looking at March 9th right now for our open tryout, and then we're going to go from there. We got some team bonding. Yeah, we got the St. Patty's Day parade here in Rome or in Utica that we're going to get a team float together. We've been doing it the last couple of years, and it's a great opportunity. We had the Squatch axe throwing last year. I don't think we're going to do that again. That's a long day. And but from there, April, we got a tournament that we're lined up with in April to go with as the Utica Yeti, and then from there, the season, the college kids will be getting ready to see if they can get some PT, because the old guys still want to run, and I know the young guys are going to be pushing them. But Bang City this weekend is going to be down at Onondaga. There's the New U. Is that how you say
New
it?
Yeah.
New
tournament.
Tournament. So a lot of Yeti guys play on a large amount of Yeti guys play on the Bang team. It's our travel tournament team, but it's 2024. We're ready. We're excited. Great things are happening a lot because of what Blue Squatch is built and doing. So again, I say, Owen, thank you very much for letting me get on here and shoot shoot the games with you
BSing.
guys.
We're BSing the NLO games.
We're
It's-
BSing.
That's right. We're BSing.
No, always happy to see you, Paul.
That's awesome. You know, I'd love to get to World Games are coming to Utica. We're playing
I
in
know.
they're coming to
No,
Utica.
we got to find a sponsor for. My goal is to find a sponsor to get OJ there, so that way he can do all of our sideline interviews and hallway interviews and stuff.
Calgary at one point was the Igloo, was it not? Or that's the Saddle Dome.
The Saddle Dome, yeah.
They're the Saddle Dome. But as far as we got the Igloo, it's the coolest place in the world to play.
Coolest place in upstate New York. All right, thanks so much everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Hello.